Maybe I left here a long time ago and neither of us knew it. Would they say
All right, good morning, folks.
would you say I blew it?
All right. Welcome, everybody. Today is Monday, March 27th, 2023. Welcome to episode number 331 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Briefing. I'm your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next 45 minutes, me, you, Andy Nakamura, Kenneth Ruff, Carrie, Kimberly Can Fix It, LJ Northstar, formerly Passive Observer, and so many more of the Simply Cyber community are going to be tearing through the top cybersecurity news stories of the day. And I'll be providing my opinion and my, subjectively expert analysis on each of those stories on what it means to you as a practitioner. Or if you're looking to break in the industry, you're going to get value out of here through terminology, engagement, concepts, threat actors, APTs, A-ish, advanced-ish, as Jeff McJunkin put it on Thursday, Defensive last Thursday. Guys, I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Crazy busy here. Before we get in the top cyber news stories of the day, I do want to say shout out and what's up. What's up, B. Seneca, Passive Observer? Good to see you. Shout out and love to the stream's sponsors, starting with Barricade Cyber Solutions. Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. I got the website right up here on stream right now, if you can see it. A lot of great information here from Eric Taylor and the whole gang, but if you scroll down, this is where the jewels are right here. This is where the cream sits. Eric Taylor's personal calendar, you can jump on it right now, March 27th, 10 a.m. Right after the stream ends, you can get on a call with Eric Taylor and discuss how Barricade Cyber Solutions can help you if your business catches fire. I'm telling you guys, I say it every single stream. You do not want to be having those calls, those setup calls during an active compromise. You want that all taken care of in advance. Do yourself a favor, invest in a little proactivity, right? Also want to say shout out and love to Panoptcy, my good friend Brandon Poole. I love Brandon. He's been on the stream several times in the past. Expert defender. He's also very good at GRC, and he, through his company Panoptcy, is offering quantified risk assessments, which is a evidence-based, fact-informed risk assessment methodology. Most importantly, if you're a GRC wonk, the main difference between quantified risk assessment and qualified risk assessment is that at the end, the output that goes to the business is a quantified risk assessment, which has statistical probabilities along with financials, right? So if you invest $18,000 more, you will get 14% more cyber risk reduction, in context of your network security. Or for $30,000 more, you won't get any really measurable improvement over your cyber risk reduction within your identity and access management situation. Your identity and access management is basically as tight as it's going to get, pending some massive investment. This is very valuable to the business. So consider a quantified risk assessment if you're ready to take your InfoSec program to the next level, or you got budget to burn. We're coming up on the end of the fiscal year here, entering Q4 of if you do a half year fiscal years. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't sweat it. If you do know what I'm talking about, you know exactly what I'm talking about and what color the money is and how it can get burned and all these other things. Panoptcy quantified risk assessment, heck of a great investment. Also, much love to XM Cyber, but more about them as we get into the show a little bit later. Now, I want to remind you that every episode of the Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Briefing is worth half a CPE, so don't be shy. Say what's up in chat. Screen cap it if you will. Make sure it's essentially the equivalent of signing your name on the roster that you were here. If you're live, I love it. Oh, hold on, I got a border on this thing. We don't do borders. What are we doing? I had the border on because I filmed a special unlisted video, and not for OnlyFans. Jeez. No, I made a video. Remind me of Jaw Jacket, and I'll tell you, and I'll share a link to the unlisted video if you guys want. I just couldn't put it on the Simply Cyber channel because it would pollute the algorithm. If you're live, I see 159 of you here. Good morning. Welcome. I'm drinking my regular brew today. I'll tell you more about that at halftime. If you're Team Replay, say what's up in the comments. Team Replay, love engaging with y'all on Team Replay. A lot of great comments going on over there. What's up, Chris Weaver? Regular in the Team Replay. And if you are passive observer like B Seneca is earlier, take a minute, say hashtag passive observer. If you've been a little shy, if you're socially introverted, networking is so valuable for your career, for yourself. Take a second, say what's up in chat, hashtag passive observer, and watch the Simply Cyber community wash over you in an awesome wave. Just like what we're about to do here with the top cyber news of the day. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the news. I'll see you guys at the midroll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
It's Monday, March 27th, 2023. UK bans TikTok from government mobile phones. Britain is to ban the Chinese-owned video sharing app TikTok from ministers and civil servants' mobile phones, bringing the UK in line with the US and the European Commission and reflecting deteriorating relations with Beijing. The decision marks a sharp U-turn from the UK's previous position and came a few hours after TikTok said its owner, ByteDance, had been told by Washington to sell the app or face a possible ban in the country. The ban will cover ministers and civil servants' work phones, but not their personal phones.
All right. So, I mean, from the desk of nobody is surprised comes this development, UK banning TikTok from government phones. This has been coming. It's been discussed about. I'm pretty sure Canada banned it on government phones. The United States has banned it on government phones. UK, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United States. I think that's the Five Eye countries. Basically, good morning, Alex. Thanks for the squad. Continued support. Basically, the Five Eyes are tightly aligned with each other. It's like there's like NATO, and then within NATO, there's like a super clique called the Five Eyes, and they're always in lockstep with each other. So this should come as zero surprise to anybody. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, there's really not much here to discuss from a cyber perspective. I'll try my best not to bring up how the whatever, like you guys, I get confused. House of Representatives, Congress, Senate, whatever it was end of last week, where the elected federal officials were interviewing the CEO of TikTok, and how desperately uninformed or out of touch those elected officials are with what the real challenges concerning that platform is. It was kind of embarrassing, actually. But anyways, this is banned. The real story here is whether or not the United States is going to ban TikTok in general. Like, so, you know, your 14-year-old daughter or your 16-year-old son or the 20-year-old Gen Z, I guess, working at your business who just started. They're the ones like be told they can't have TikTok anymore. That's where there's going to be massive societal impact, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, there should come as no surprise, guys, that the relationship with China and the Five Eye countries is deteriorating. And we've covered multiple things on the show before, so it just is what it is.
Microsoft pushes OOB security updates for Windows Snipping Tool flaw. Following up on a story we brought you last week, Microsoft released an emergency security update for the Windows 10 and Windows 11 snipping tool to fix the Acropolis privacy vulnerability.
Yes.
Now tracked as CVE 2023-28303, the Acropolis vulnerability is caused by image editors not properly removing cropped image data when overwriting the original file. However, with this bug, both the Google Pixels markup tool and the Windows Snipping tool were found to be leaving the cropped data within the original file.
Okay, so two things here. One, this is a screenshot from 010 Editor. It's a hex editor. It's actually a pretty good hex editor. If you haven't played with hex editors and you're interested in software exploitation, reverse engineering, malware analysis, any of those, or digital forensics, if any of those areas of cyber are interesting to you, you absolutely should know what a hex editor is. You can take calc.exe, you can take Clippy, you can take whatever binary or file you want. This is a PNG file, not a GIF, Alana. And you can open it in a hex editor and look at it. It'll look like the stuff on the right, right? Just a bunch of gobbledygook, but stick it, you know what? Here's the thing. Stick an exe file in and look at the magic number, the, what is it? The MZ, right? 4A5D, I think it is. Just trust me, put an exe in, you'll see the signature at the top. You'll also see this is not a DOS program. Okay, so that's just a quick little aside. I see you, Alana. That's just a quick aside about hex editors and why you should be familiar with them. Okay, here is two things for you. One is for the new breaking in crowd, and one is for everybody. And just before we go, I love Acropolis as a name. Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, Acropolis. So it's so witty. It's so clever. Okay. Microsoft pushes an OOB. Now you might be, if you're a little bit older and you're pivoting into cybersecurity, you might be like, OOB, yeah, you know me, OOB, right? Like throwing it back, naughty by nature style. BSEC knows what I'm talking about. It's not OPP. It's OOB, which stands for out of bounds or out of band security update. So Microsoft every single month, Patch Tuesday, pushes Patch Tuesday patches out, and it's really well known. It's expected. Vulnerability management practitioners, vulnerability managers, and IT professionals, especially ones who are responsible for IT infrastructure, are expecting Patch Tuesday. They know when it's coming. They've got patch management concentric circles, right? Like Patch IT, Patch Champions, and then patch to the whole organization. When Microsoft, or anybody, but Microsoft's kind of a big one, pushes an out-of-band patch, that typically means, holy crap. Like when Exchange had those massive issues that they still have, Exchange on-prem, proxy, shell, like that's an out-of-band patch. Like get this done immediately, okay? It cannot wait for Patch Tuesday. It's being actively exploited. It's very easy to exploit. These are reasons that we do out-of-band patches. Now, this is for the Windows Snipping Tool flaw that we discussed last week. So the out-of-band thing, that's just for the new people here, so they have context to why we do that and what's going on. Here's the weird thing. Here's the editorial. And you can't even use the tinfoil hat emote because I don't have a good hot take on this. I'm interested in what you guys are thinking. This snipping tool, the problem is when you snip, like say like you're looking at this feed right now and you just like take a screenshot and you clip me out because I'm making a strange face, right? So you crop me out and then you send it to, like, BSEC sends it to Joel Belton and you're like, LOL, look at this stupid face Jerry's making. And all of the other content's not in there, but because of this flaw, all that data is actually still in there. And we can see this in this hex editor where basically the IEND that's highlighted here represents the end of the image file on what to display. So when you click on some type of application that will present to you the contents of a GIF or a JPEG or PNG file or whatever, and you're looking at it just like I'm looking at the screenshot of this hex editor, it tells you using the .iend, I guess, in the PNG format, where the end of the file is. However, as you can see here, all this extra crap after the IEND is actually image data. It's just not displayed to the end user. What does this mean? Well, it means that whatever you cropped out is still part of the file. So when you transmit it, somebody can recover that hidden data, which is obviously quite a problem if you're like redacting information to send sensitive information. If you're trying to screen clip a quote and you don't want your sources, if you're a journalist or something, you don't want your sources revealed. So there are some really issues. Here's my thing, okay? And again, drop it in chat. and you guys may have been saying, I've been reading chat. Why is this an out-of-band security update? Like, I get that it's a big deal that you can recover hidden data, or not hidden, but data that the intended sender or the intended cropper did not intend to be consumed by anybody. Like, they cropped it out on purpose. They've removed it on purpose. But to me, this, like, proxy shell, like, active exploitation, threat actors taking it over, get your crap patched over the weekend, mind you. That was a weekend job. The Windows Snipping Tool, Acropolis, does not seem... Yeah, I agree. BSEC says 99% of the use cases probably aren't sensitive, but there's probably one that is. I agree. There has to be some use case somewhere that is radioactive, because you do not, Microsoft isn't going to do an out-of-band security update unless it's absolutely a priority. I mean, that's why it's out of band. It's a urgent priority. It cannot wait. That's the whole point of out of band. It cannot wait. It must be done now. And this just doesn't seem to warrant that level of urgency. So this is just my hot take on it. I don't know.
Society claims attack on Puerto Rico Aqueduct and Sewer Authority.
Ew.
The Puerto Rico Aqueduct and Sewer Authority is investigating a cyber attack that hit the agency 2 weeks ago. The attack was disclosed on March 19th, and the announcement stated that threat actors had access to customer and employee information. The agency pointed out that the operations at the critical infrastructure managed by the agency in Puerto Rico were not impacted. At this time, the agency has yet to reveal the name of the group behind the attack, but the Vice Society ransomware gang added the authority to the list of victims on its Tor leak site.
All right. So, this is critical infrastructure, right? Marcus Grani, that's well put in emotes. You guys are terrible at just coming in hot with all the sewage references. Okay, so Vice Society, a major threat actor group. These groups have these breach portals, these breach pages. Some of them are on the dark web. Some of them have surface web. Breach portals. Eric Taylor's in chat. He's got links to all of them. It's up to him to disclose them or not. But they're basically, think of them as like the PR arm of any threat actor group, right? They have like a public presence, and that's where they disclose who they victimized. They also will share evidence of their exploits, to further prove it. You can see there's some sensitive stuff in here. SQL is typically databases, finances, passports, social security numbers. All right. This is operational technology. This is required infrastructure to run a modern society, okay? Water and sewer. Justin Gold knows a thing or two about water. Here's the deal, guys. The good news is most operational technology, which is different than information technology, right? IT and OT. Most OT will continue to run because it's a lot of, like physical systems, actual physical vents opening and closing, physical temperatures being turned up or turned down. Those will continue to work in a lot of instances, just like Colonial Pipeline continued to make gasoline and petroleum products when it got hit a couple years ago. The IT, the way that the workers administer it, the way that the business operates, that is what has been impacted. So the good news is our Puerto Rican friends are fine, right? Like they'll still be able to like wash their hands and flush the toilets, but it's not good, obviously. And I don't know. I feel like the United States FBI has made a mandate that you're not allowed to pay ransoms. And since this is a government entity that got hit, or an agency that got hit, I would assume that they would have to comply with that. So, just whatever. Look out for this. It seemed, by the way, I don't know why. Like a lot of critical infrastructure is grossly under like running on legacy systems and stuff like that. But water seems to get hit a lot more often than any other like critical infrastructure. I mean, I guess not really, like, hospitals get hit all the time and stuff like that. It's just weird to me that there's a lot of water. Like the Klopp ransomware gang hit the Staffordshire water group out in the UK. Jacksonville, North Carolina, a couple years ago, Onwasa, ONWASA, got hit with ransomware. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know. Water seems kind of like a niche area to hit.
Intel co-founder and philanthropist Gordon Moore dies at 94. The co-founder of Intel, Gordon Moore, died Friday at his home in Hawaii. Holding a PhD in chemistry and physics, he made his famous observation, now known as Moore's Law, 3 years before he helped start Intel in 1968. The prediction, which had been originally applied to the doubling of transistors on a semiconductor, has since been applied to hard drives, computer monitors, and other electronic devices, and symbolizes the benefits and effects of exponential scale on technology. The law states that the number of transistors on a microchip roughly doubles every 2 years, while its cost is halved over that same time period.
All right, couple things. One, I guess take a minute, celebration of life. 94. I'm not saying like, oh, I'm glad this guy died. Not at all, right? Obviously, but like when you get past 90, you could take a lap. You could take a hot lap and be like, you know what? I did all right. I made it, right? This guy, obviously Intel. If you don't know what Intel is, welcome to the party. Intel is, microchips. This guy was the processor, right? Intel Inside. It's still a juggernaut in the industry. This guy co-founded it. Moore's Law is famously known that basically everything kind of doubles every 18 months. It moves faster now. The scary thing, if you want to apply Moore's Law in a current model.
Shall we play a game?
Yeah, Moore's Law applied to AI. Ooh. ChatGPT 30, watch out for that. Anyways, this guy died. Celebration of life. Good. Good. I'm glad. Obviously, he ushered in what became modern society's information age. Obviously the Intel chips in the 60s. It was the ARPANET or DARPANET, then ARPA. Again, echoing what I've said in the past about how military capabilities will leverage newest technology before anyone else. Look at the computer, right? And finally, this dude had a PhD in chemistry and physics. Just as a quick aside, and I know this doesn't really resonate with everybody, but I have a PhD, right? I joke that nobody would ever get a second PhD because it is incredibly emotionally exhausting, time-consuming. It's lonely. Going on and getting a PhD is an incredibly arduous process. And the fact that this dude had 2 just shows you how next level this guy was, because you really got to love it to go back and get a second one. So anyways, final thought on this. Dude died in Hawaii, right? I know some people live in Hawaii already full time, but dude, I can't think, like, in my mind, maybe it seems a little poetic, but like sitting on a beach, beautiful weather, with like a coconut drink in my hand at 94, just watching waves wash up on my ankles and thinking, you know what? It's pretty good. This is pretty good. This isn't bad, right? So good on you, Gordon Moore. Thanks for all you did.
And now a word from our sponsor, Trend Micro. Cybersecurity is not just about protection, it's about foresight, agility, and resilience. Navigating a new era of cyber risk demands evolved strategies, new frameworks, and integrated tools to equip security teams to anticipate and defend against even the most advanced attacks. Trend Micro, the global leader in cybersecurity, is bringing the cyber risk conversation to more than 120 cities around the world in their latest Risk to Resilience World Tour, the largest cybersecurity roadshow of its kind. Find the closest city to you and register today to take a leap towards a more resilient future. Head to trendmicro.com/CISO series.
All right. And don't make no mistake, getting a PhD is a wonderful endeavor. I would just say you have to do it for you. At the end of the day, it's a very lonely path. The shine wears off quickly. You have to do it for you. You have to have that drive. I see Kathy Chambers up in chat. Good to see you, Kathy. You're gonna crush your PhD. No doubt in my mind. All right, guys, it's the mid-roll, which means only one thing. And if you're new here, this is what we do. Hey, 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 hey! All right, guys, thank you all so very much for being here today. Genuinely appreciate it. Love starting my morning, starting my week with all of you. Thank you to the sponsors, Barricade Cyber Solutions, Panoptcy, and XM Cyber. I mentioned XM Cyber a little while ago, but what about them? Well, XM Cyber is a sponsor, and I want you to know that here's the deal. A lot of businesses have cloud on-prem. There's misconfigurations, mismanaged credentials, security updates. Maybe you got this Acropolis patch coming in you got to do something with, right? But you can't really see, you see everything, but you have no context of how it all interrelates and integrates with each other. That's where XM Cyber comes in, okay? It's a software as a service solution, and they allow you to address hybrid cloud exposure. So instead of looking at just the silos of patches or identity and access management issues, XM Cyber provides a kind of an overview to show you attack paths, very visual, and it'll allow you to uncover hidden attack paths, security control gaps that maybe you didn't even know you had in your environment, both in cloud and on-prem, and how you can pivot through them. Basically, it's a visual overview of what an attacker could do and how they can move through your environment, which is important because this visual will allow you to pinpoint exactly where your issues are, and most importantly, prioritize. So basically, if you can identify like a choke point where every attack, they could attack these 50 external endpoints, but they're all gonna have to go through this one choke point in your network before they get to the crown jewels. Well, here's a shocker. You can fix, harden, patch, strengthen, lock down that choke point, and you've just significantly reduced your risk for your time investment. Anyways, it's very, very cool. Check out xmcyber.com. There's a link in the description below. You can get with them and have them demo or show off their exposure management platform. They don't bite, so give them a ring and see what's up. Guys, I definitely want to thank all of you. If you get a chance, hit that like button. It goes a long way to tell other people about what we're doing in here. It's not to stroke my ego. It's to let other cyber people who just don't know about Simply Cyber discover Simply Cyber. Every single day in the comments, I see at least one person say, "I just found you. Holy crap, this is awesome. LFG." All right? Now, guys, if many of you got the Crush It Cyber Pro newsletter this morning, I hope you enjoyed it. Forward it to a friend if you think someone else could get some value. I wrote it yesterday. I like it quite a bit. So sign up, simplycyber.io/newsletter to continue to get those. And this Wednesday, we started it last week, Threat Intel industry-specific threat intel email goes out on Wednesdays in a collaboration with a group named Codename Purple that I'm playing with. Let me know what you think. That threat intel industry-specific threat intel newsletter is something new we're doing, so I'm open to constructive criticism. Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Want to say what's up? Here's what we're doing. We're going to tag someone in chat in on Team Replay. They go off onto LinkedIn and post what their story is. Why are they into cybersecurity? What have they done? What have they seen? How has Simply Cyber helped them? All of you that aren't them, go on, like, comment, share, and most importantly, connect with that person and everyone in chat. You're going to build your own network, your own powerful connections. That way, when you need a job or when you want to engage with like-minded professionals, you'll have built that network and you won't just be yelling into the void of LinkedIn. Believe that. Wayne's Real World, if Jenny Housley's in here, Patrick Moss, if Patrick Moss is in here, it's on Patrick Moss to tag somebody, and also Altron on the I don't even have Discord up. Jeez, mod, sorry. All right, hold on. Let's see. Looks like I don't know. We might. Sorry, Team Replay. We may have to. We may have to push Team Replay to the side. But if Patrick Moss is in chat, holla, holla, holla. And Jared Matthews, unfortunately, Jared Matthews got missed. I know you guys can't see this, but if Jared Matthews is in chat, Jared, go ahead and jump into the Simply Cyber Community Challenge yourself. All right, Patrick Moss. It's on Patrick Moss. If he doesn't tag someone, I will tag somebody. Let me know. I'll do it. Oh, there he is right there. Justin Rower. Justin Rower. Let me know, Justin, if you accept the challenge. And Altron, you do that. Guys, final thing. Every single day of the week, we have some special activity. And Mondays is dedicated for my son, Callan. He's very artistic, very creative. He gets Monday's Art of the Week. This one, it always surprises me because I'm so conformist. When I think Art of the Week, I think like draw a picture, draw a picture, draw a picture. Callan's done pottery. He's done pictures. He's done interactive things. He's done so many things. He brought this to me on Friday and said, Dad, this is the Art of the Week for next week, okay? It seems simple, but it's pretty cool. So this is Callan's Art of the Week. He wants me to use this, right? So I'm gonna, how did he say to do it? I'm delivering the top cyber news. Boom! I'm delivering the top cyber news. Boom! Right? So Callan made like a comic book action sound effect for me to exercise if I really need to, boom, emphasize a point. So thank you, Callan, for your creative, thoughtful, and just out-of-the-box thinking when it comes to art. All right, guys, let's do it. Let's slide back into the news and finish strong, shall we?
Inaudible ultrasound attack can stealthily control your phone or smart speaker. American university researchers have developed a novel attack called Near Ultrasound Inaudible Trojan, NUIT, that can launch silent attacks against devices powered by voice assistants like smartphones, smart speakers, and other IoTs. Professor Guinevere Chen of the University of Texas in Antonio, her doctoral student Qi Xia, and Professor Shuhai Zhu of the University of Colorado demonstrated NUIT's attacks against modern voice assistants found inside millions of devices, including Apple's Siri, Google's Assistant, Microsoft's Cortana, and Amazon's Alexa, showing the ability to send malicious commands to those devices. The main principle that makes NUIT effective and dangerous is that microphones in smart devices can respond to near ultrasound waves that the human ear cannot, thus performing the attack with minimal risk of exposure while still using conventional speaker technology.
Wow.
Panera.
Okay, this is interesting. So we know that universities are always doing kind of like novel attacks and stuff like this, but this one actually has a lot of practical applications, guys. Let's see. The victim's operating a computer nearby, leaving his phone behind. Okay. Interesting. So here's the deal. Here's the deal with this attack. You are able to basically say, hey, Google, or hey, Echo device, or hey, Google Assistant, or hey, whatever. Like, there are so many of, hey, Siri, hey, Cortana, right? There's so many of these these services and these platforms and these tools out there, and they make it super easy for you to say something, to do something. Hey, turn on my lights, turn off my lights, open my door, my hands are full, give me directions, call this number, okay? But when we do it, like I used to have a neighbor who loved the guy, but every time he would come over, as he would leave my house, he would say, hey, Google, right? To activate the Google Home devices, he'd say, hey, Google, play Slayer Volume 10. And then he'd laugh hysterically and walk out the door. And it would start playing like loud rock and roll music. And yes, I stop it, but you still have like 2 seconds of being punked, right? So it will take, there's no authentication, there's no validation of who the speaker is when you issue a command to these things. It will just execute the command, which, by the way, is from a security practice, that is scary that there is zero authentication. This is like the internet in 1991, right? Like anything goes, right? Read Cliff Stoll's The Cuckoo's Egg, and you'll know what I'm talking about. That's the 70s and Bell Labs, UCal Berkeley, but still, the point is the same. In Cuckoo's Egg, like basically you could just like connect to any network and just get in. So here's the deal. With this attack, you can say, hey Google, play Slayer Volume 10, except you don't hear the command because you can use ultrasonic sound that is at a level that the human ear cannot detect. However, the devices can detect. What does this mean now? Well, it means you can execute commands on the device, right? And like, if you're really good at it, you could actually have it execute malware or visit a site and pull a payload. I could envision a really practical application that, like, this is obviously, I'm not a threat actor, and I'm like more like salmon pink than red when it comes to effective offensive security, but I do dabble, right? I could envision an attack where, somehow you're able to, dude, think about this. Imagine if you bought a radio spot on a popular station, right? Like whatever LA rock and roll station or New York hip hop. There's like a really good, like, blazing hip hop 90 something. And New York City's got a really great hip hop rap station. Like, when I drive up to Massachusetts, I always tune into it, but it's like blazing something. Anyways, if there's anyone in New York in here, holler at me. But I can imagine this. You spend $1,000 on a radio spot that hundreds of thousands of people are going to hear, and you play the ultrasonic command, which commands your phone or your devices to go to a malicious site, which proactively exploits like some known vulnerability in Google Android or in iPhone or in the Echo devices or whatever, and then you compromise them. It's like you could very quickly compromise a ton of things, right? Hot 97, thank you, Sean. So my thing is like, this is kind of scary, and this is something that would warrant an out of band patch to do a harken back to the first story here. But all I could think of is the way to resolve this would be on the technology stack, right? And kind of dial in what it can hear and what it can't hear. And that might even have to be like a physical, like you can't fix it with software. You might have to fix this with hardware. Anyways, right now it's just a novel attack. There's probably some considerations around how you create the ultrasonic sound in order for the device to hear it. But this is really scary, just because of the ubiquity and pervasiveness of these smart devices in people's homes, people's businesses, etc. So watch out for this one. Normally I kind of like mock research, not mock it, but academic research oftentimes is very, very, very early and doesn't really have like practical application at the time. This one does. This one's scary.
Bread will use palm scanning technology for its loyalty program. Panera Bread is rolling out palm scanners that will link customers' handprints to their loyalty accounts, a move the company paints as convenient, but that privacy advocates have decried. The biometric gathering technology developed by Amazon will hit stores in the next few months, Panera said on Wednesday. The gadgets will help suggest menu items based on customers' order histories and allow employees to greet customers by their names and share customers' available rewards, the company said.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Panera Bread CEO Niren Chaudhary described the move as a, quote, frictionless, personalized, and convenient, end quote, evolution of Panera's loyalty program, which boasts 52 million members. However, digital rights activists worry that information could be tapped by federal agencies or accessed by hackers.
Okay. From the desk of Nobody Asked For, Panera Bread rolls out biometric things. Now, you might be like, well, what's the big deal? I like that they know I like an everything bagel. I like that they know that I prefer the sweet, nutty flavors of the cream cheese, the honey nut cream cheese. Here's the deal. And I guess it's not too bad, but like when they scan your handprint and they know it's you, that handprint data has to be saved somewhere, correct? And if you're using your handprint for anything else, they have a copy of it. I'm not saying it's exactly like this, but imagine, if you will, you had a key and they issued you a key and you put the key in and only you have the key, and you put the key in and the lock you're able to unlock, they say, oh yeah, hey Jerry, what's up? It's good to see you. Yeah, well, that same key will unlock anything where the lock is your biometric handprint. Do you understand? You don't have a Panera handprint and then a, secret skiff handprint. You have a handprint, right? So it's very convenient. It's very cool, but there is some concern. Panera is in the business of making bread, not in the business of securing secrets. So, the second they're breached, whether or not we know it, all that data gets taken, and then that's it. So, whatever. I mean, for what it's worth, Panera has messed up my family's order more than once to the point where Panera is dead to us. But so I'm not going to be getting my handprint scanned anytime soon. But Panera, whatever. No one asked for this. Okay. I guess the one thing that I do appreciate about this is that Panera, this is going to put biometric authentication and identity further on the mainstream media map. What you really should be concerned about, in my opinion, is the prolific use of biometrics by TSA at American airports. Right now that's a little different. Now we're talking a little bit different, and profiling, all these other things. That use of biometrics and surveillance and execution of it is way more scary than this, but this will help put it further on the map. Nobody asked for this, Panera. Oh, and by the way, it's just like, obviously they say it's a frictionless experience and it's a benefit to the customer. No, it's not. Like, you are full of it. Why they're doing this is because they want a better way to track their customers. They want to know who spends the most money. They want to know what you normally get, so then they can offer you more product, so they can make more. Great cash, homie.
UK National Crime Agency reveals it ran fake DDoS for hire sites to collect users' data. Britain's National Crime Agency, NCA, revealed on Friday that it had set up a number of fake DDoS for hire sites to infiltrate the online criminal underground. It said that users who registered for the sites were not given access to cybercrime tools, but instead had their data collated by investigators. The operation aims at low-level criminals who tend to use booters as their stock in trade, and provides police with a mechanism to intervene in the cases of potential offenders when they are engaged in what the NCA describes as, quote, an attractive entry-level crime, end quote.
All right, there we go. Our good friends over across the pond, Pip Pip and all that, cheerio. UK National Crime Agency set up basically a speed trap for threat actors, a fake DDoS. They didn't actually execute anything, but I'm not saying this is entrapment, but like this, and I don't even know if they have that law in the United Kingdom, but basically, this is the equivalent of like going, like setting up like a prostitution sting or something, right? Or a speed trap, where you set up this service and then criminals come out of the woodwork to say, hey, like, we'd like to use some denial of services from you. Like, here's our like, whatever payments. And then the UK collects information on them, begins to build a profile, and then I suppose arrests them at some point for engaging in criminal activity. Yeah, it's like, it is a honeypot, Alana. So what's interesting is in the story, and I would agree with this, they say that basically lower level threat actors, people who are just dabbling, people who are just getting a taste of the criminal cyber life, will typically engage in denial of services. I guess I've never seen any information around that. I mean, if I was going to get into cybercrime, I wouldn't get into denial of service. I'd go straight into ransomware as a service. If it were me, and if I was a cyber criminal, which I'm not, believe me, I don't even play one on TV. Although sometimes I do stream as a threat actor, but that's aside the point. Anyways, this feels like entrapment, but you know what? I got to play the sounder. And it's funny because I was just railing against Panera, being like big data hoarders and stuff like that. And I rail on big tech companies doing data hoarding all the time. UK National collecting users' data. Now I wonder. Here's the funny joke, and then I'll turn over. I wonder if the UK National Crime Agency had a data breach and the criminal users' data got leaked, would they be responsible for disclosing that to the criminals, right? I mean, they're people too. I don't know. I'm being slightly facetious.
Last week in ransomware. Last week's news was dominated by the Clop ransomware gang extorting companies whose Go Anywhere services were breached using a zero-day vulnerability. Bleeping Computer has confirmed this week that Saks Fifth Avenue, the City of Toronto, Procter & Gamble, Virgin Red, and the UK Pension Protection Fund are related to the vulnerability. Also last week, the City of Oakland is suddenly being extorted on the Lockbit data leak site when a few weeks ago they were claimed by a Play ransomware attack. It is unclear if Lockbit is helping Play to extort the city. Last week also saw MKS Instruments and Lehigh Valley Health hit with lawsuits stemming from ransomware activity and exposure. Just a reminder that we...
Wow, okay. A couple things. Eric Taylor, if you're in chat, I'm kind of curious. This is the first time I've seen this before. So Play Ransomware is the one who's claimed, and I don't think anyone's disputing it, to have been behind the City of Oakland ransomware attack, but now Lockbit is also extorting City of Oakland. So now I'm confused whether Lockbit purchased the data from Play and now is throwing it up on their site and extorting them, or if they're collaborating. As far as I know, and this is why I called out Eric Taylor, you don't see ransomware threat actor groups collaborating typically. Like it's very, like as far as I know, it's very uncommon. Unless they're like rebranding the way that like Dark Side, Black Matter, Black Cat, Alpha, Black Alpha, Alfie, like that was the same people. They were just changing the name. So that's not really what I'm talking about. Play Ransomware and Lockbit are two different threat actor groups. One is, as far as I know, Play is a threat actor group. Lockbit is more of a ransomware as a service. So it's kind of curious. You don't see that often. What you do see often, you can see here, Monty Ransomware and Donut Leaks, two what I would call lower tier threat actor groups. We don't hear a lot about them with successful things. They got some beef going, a little bit of a tweet beef here. Another interesting thing, we saw Procter & Gamble got hit. Procter & Gamble is a massive big pharma company, so whoever hit them is going to try to cash in, I'm sure. That would be the Clop ransomware, which last week we covered this in the news brief. Go Anywhere is a remote access solution. There was a 0-day that they had discovered or bought. They probably bought it, honestly, on the dark web, and were able to exploit the crap out of people. Again, this Go Anywhere vulnerability is an absolute out of band type patch, not like Acropolis. Okay. So, and we told you guys, scan your external network, look for Go Anywhere exposures. Could be Carl standing up a Go Anywhere solution so they could come in on the weekend. But Procter & Gamble, Saks Fifth Avenue, those are big people. And then UK Pension Protection Fund. Nasty business, guys. I can't think of anything more scary than somebody who's like depending on a pension to retire and then the pension gets sacked. Oh, that is horrible. We talked about Gordon Moore dying on the beach in Hawaii. I mean, he didn't die on the beach in Hawaii, but like, you know, retiring and spending your golden years on a beach in Hawaii. If you're depending on a pension and the pension gets hit, you're going to spend your golden years working because you know, you can't, there's nothing there. All right. So anyways, this is the week in ransomware. They do this all the time. Every Monday, there's a week, or Friday, there's a roundup. It's good to look at this roundup for your industry, for your situation, because there's a lot of stories in here and you can pull them in order to inform like whatever it is that you're wanting to do. All right, guys, that's going to do it for the news. So if you were here just for the news, I want to say thank you. But really quickly before you roll, let me put on some soft tunes here. Before you roll, hey, later today at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be playing World of Haiku. Every single Monday, I play a cyber-based video game live on stream with the Simply Cyber community. Today, we're playing World of Haiku. We're going to be actually previewing some unreleased content. So I have early access to it, which is part of the cool thing with the stream. I have early access, so I'm going to be showing off new content. Derb, right? Derbuster, if you're familiar with that, which allows you to kind of brute force enumerate hidden web resources. I'm going to be showing off that tool and going buck wild on that. So if you like good times, come over and hang out. All right, Eric Taylor's chiming in. Looks like the city of Oakland claimed publicly that it was play, but maybe misspoke. Okay, cool. Thank you, Eric Taylor. Yeah, you got to be careful when you're doing attribution, people. All right, so come hang out. By the way, love this thumbnail. It reminds me what I wanted to tell you guys. But if you were here just for the news, 243 of you guys, woo, we straight crushed it today.
Boom, roasted.
Appreciate all of you. Come back tomorrow. I still am teaching. I teach at the Citadel Military College on Tuesday and Thursday mornings. So tomorrow's stream will be at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Left Coast people love it. So come back tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wednesday, 8 a.m. And starting in the summer and forever after, it'll always be 8 a.m. Eastern time. But tomorrow it's 10 a.m. Eastern time. Guys, I made a unreleased video. I basically just, so this is for jaw jacking time. I discovered a technique, hold on, let me just look at my calendar really quickly. I'm sorry, y'all. I want to make sure, I constantly drive right into a 9 a.m. meeting. All right, I have a meeting at 9:20. Woo! Hashtag jaw jacking. All right, guys, I have an unreleased video. I'm going to drop a link in chat. Let me just get the link here really quickly. I basically developed a technique to make thumbnails for YouTube videos, just like this one right here, right? And I can make them in under 3 minutes. Like, it's sick. And the thing is, I can't publicly release it on my YouTube channel because all of my YouTube content is focused on cybersecurity, leveling up, getting a job in the industry, right? None of it is around content creation. And if I made a video on content creation, it would really screw up the algorithm, right? Like people, like YouTube would be like, okay, so now you're a YouTube content creator channel. So if you're interested in my technique or whatever you want to call it, here's a link to that video, okay? Let me do this. So this is why the header or the overlay was on when I started the stream this morning, because I recorded this over the weekend. You can see the video is unlisted. If you guys make content, if you wanted to make a cool thumbnail, if you've been thinking about it, I know certain people in the community have been thinking of starting a YouTube channel. I'm actually working on a course, okay? Like it's definitely the third course that I'm working on. So like Cybersecurity 101, the super top secret course that I'm working on, and then the YouTube. I want to do a course on how to do a YouTube channel with the explicit intention of, by doing YouTube, by doing podcasting, you can build your network, build your brand, start, basically doing what I'm doing here. If this is something that's interesting to you, again, networking is super powerful. Making content and sharing it with other people is a wonderful way to do it. I've been doing Simply Cyber for over 3 years, and I've learned a ton. I've made many mistakes. I have a 3-minute technique for making thumbnails now. I used to spend hours making thumbnails, right? And they weren't good. So check it out if you're interested in all of that. What's the link to the SOC class? So I don't know what you're talking about, but if you went into if you guys saw the newsletter this morning, the Crush It newsletter, I actually put a link to the SOC analyst experience. Here's a link to that. This is a total playlist. If you guys want, right here, check this out. This is all of the content curated and aggregated directly into one playlist. This is exactly what you need for all the SOC analyst lab stuff. I do want to say shout out and thanks to all of you who shared this particular video with your community of interest. This video has only been out 6 days and it already has 11,000 views, which is really good for Simply Cyber content. So that's directly because of all of you sharing the content. You know, and I think it's pretty good content, but I appreciate it, guys, for all you guys do. All right, let's see. YouTube chat does not show the link. Really? How does YouTube chat not show the link? It's like, I could see it, right? I could see where it says Gerald Auger in the yellow box on the right, and then there's the link right there. I don't know what's up. Nice, Carrie got the VMware 16 working on his laptop. Very nice. All right, guys, where are we at? 8:57. We got a couple minutes. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend. Guys, I got to tell you, it doesn't happen often, but today was one of those days where I woke up and I was I was unpleasantly surprised that it was already 6:30 a.m. Right? I was like, oh my God, like I feel like I just laid down. Ugh. Let's see. David Beard. I've done 2 YouTube channels for my wife's business. It gets easier. Awesome. Yeah, thanks, David. That's great. Thanks for offering your support and helping anyone out who has a question. Content creation video about thumbnails. Oh, okay. Let's do that then here. I'm going to share this. Copy. There we go. There's another one. Hopefully that came through. I don't like this song. All right. Hey, Team Hybrid, Eric Q, good to see you. Gotta go. Have a good day, B. Seneca. Link works. User might be trying to click the video versus the actual chat window. True. It is there and working. Very nice. Crush your week. All right, Alana, be good.
Boom, roasted.
All right, guys. Looks like we're right at 9 o'clock. I want to thank all of you. Have a wonderful day, all of you. Thank you so much for spending a few minutes with the Simply Cyber community. I hope this morning briefing brought you value. Go out there and crush it, everyone. Until later today at 4 p.m. for the Let's Play, or tomorrow at 10 a.m. for the Simply Cyber Threat Briefing. I'm Jerry. Until next time, stay secure.